Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rise the Podcast. I am Jeremy.
I'm Kara.
And I'm Browning.
Oh, short.
Oh my goodness! And are we recording?
Short.
Yeah.
Oh my
Kara's
goodness!
watching.
My bad.
Oh my god, we gotta start over again.
Oh my gosh! Are we recording anyways?
Yeah,
Yes.
we are.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
Oh.
I definitely hit record.
I can see the
Good
buttons
job.
now
Good
when
job.
we get to record from here.
You did not hear. It was not deja. It was deja vu that you guys are experiencing seconds ago.
Well, it is September 11th,
It is.
2021, and it's 20 years since
September 11th, 2001.
2001. And so we don't try to get too political on the show, but I just want to say it was crazy. I was 14. I remember the day that it happened, and I was in school. And something that I can't believe is one of my coworkers this week. He was 1. He said he just learned in a documentary that there was a 4th plane. So he knew about the 2 that hit the towers and the 1 that hit the Pentagon.
Then there was the one that landed in the field in
Philadelphia.
Philly.
Or Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
That one was it intended for the White House, right?
I think
'Cause
so.
I believe
believe
say
so.
the Capitol, but I thought it was the White House.
Yeah, I think so.
whatever.
So, isn't there even
Who
a movie
knows?
about that? Flight
54 or whatever?
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah. Because they took back over the plane and crashed it. So absolutely crazy that people still don't know. So it's just crazy it was 20 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I'm like, how many, like, so think back to, like, 1965. That's the 20-year anniversary of the conclusion of World War II, right? So, like, in that span, how much already had been, like, forgotten? Or, like, so there's, like, the broad strokes thing.
Right.
But, like, all of the people that were, like, so being 14 in 1945 or whatever, so it's like you're in your mid-30s or whatever, like, and then you have somebody that was born, like, right after the war or something that doesn't know any of the stuff, and they only hear, like, the big things like Pearl Harbor,
Right.
D-Day, all this. Like, what other, like, we have vivid detail of the day that,
Yep.
it happened, right? So it's like people would have vivid detail in their memory of all these events going on that just people don't have. Dave says hi, by the way.
Hi,
Hello,
David.
You're on vacation. Stop it.
Right? I had heard somebody had said if it had happened now, imagine how many more video angles there would be.
There.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot, I thought,
Yeah.
for then.
Well, so yeah, it was a video. Well, 01, first smartphone was 07, but I believe like the early vanguard of having like cell phone video, like like the 188i, just like super. And I think there's like obviously there's camcorder footage for like people that were in New York either visiting or whatever. Yep. Some people just rock around with cameras and stuff. So it's like the shot on the street where you see the plane hit, it's just like this tidal wave of debris coming at you.
Absolutely crazy.
Oh.
Is that Gabe?
General Kenobi.
Hello there.
That's what he said.
Yes, Gabe.
I saw a really funny thing, and it was a TikTok, and
It couldn't be that funny if it was a TikTok.
it was funny. So it's this girl, and she's thinking, and it says her, colon. He's
What do you think
probably
about it?
he's probably cheating on me, and then it shows what he's actually doing, and he fires up a lightsaber in his store, and he's like, "Hello there," and then there's 4 guys hanging off this, or a guy hanging off this guy's back. He's got 2 lightsabers, and the other guy's got 2. And they're like, General Kenobi. And they're like, all 4 lightsabers. That one really made me laugh. I love Star Wars memes like that.
They are funny.
It's really, really good. You can never get bored of General Grievous jokes.
Yeah.
They're
It's
so
true.
funny.
Congratulations on your licensing too, Gabe.
What do you get a license in?
He's a certified VW tech.
Yep.
Or leveled up
Or
as tech.
certification, whatever.
Yeah.
Good job. Congratulations.
Congratulations!
Achievement unlocked.
And PC for the win there, Gabe, because Knights of the Old Republic is getting remade, and at first it was only supposed to be a PS5 exclusive, and then it came out a day later that it's going to be on PC too. So
Well, here's
Just not Xbox.
Just
Here's
not
what's funny.
Xbox.
KOTOR was Xbox exclusive, wasn't it?
It was. And,
So-
and then it came out on PC later.
Well, yeah, but now why is it flipping to, PlayStation?
Because they got smart in the intervening 25 years.
But
I'm just kidding. I have no allegiance one way or the other. I
You
just
like
think it's
KOTOR, don't you?
Well, no, I'm into consoles.
Yeah.
I'll play whatever. I just think that it's funny how big of a hill people will make out of those.
Yeah.
I know.
There's crossplay on a lot of platforms, on the platforms now. isn't
Oh, it's
there,
about
mostly?
freaking time, too.
Yeah.
It's like,
I know after all this time.
Seriously.
Can't expect people to buy $1,500 worth of consoles just to play, like, a couple games with a couple different people.
Right.
Yeah.
And not to mention you're limiting, like, oh, don't even get me started. Even on PC, though, you've got Epic Game Store exclusives. There's store exclusives.
Yeah.
That's so dumb. Absolutely.
Yeah, Borderlands 3 came out 6 months early on the Epic. I refused to buy it until it was out on Steam.
Right. Steam just is so good at what it does. It's so good at delivering you games. And I like having a library of my games. Doesn't matter. Like, I don't have to own them in my brain on the computer and find discs and everything. I can just get a new computer, install the Steam, and download the library again.
Speaking of purchasing the discs for stuff, have you played Diablo 2?
Yes.
So, I don't know. Walmart still might have it. They had the Diablo 2 Battle Chest. It was Diablo 1, Diablo 2, and the expansion, right? And it was like $30 forever. And it was out forever. I bought no fewer than 7 copies of that. Because I would lose the sleeve that has the CD key to install it. So I had all these copies. I had all the discs. I couldn't reinstall it, so I'd have to go and buy another one. And it was absolutely ridiculous. But I believe Diablo 2 just got a remake.
Or it's coming out, right? It was announced.
Yeah, it's at least been announced. I've seen gameplay footage of it at minimum. So Diablo 2 is getting like an HD remaster.
That's dope. I love Diablo 2.
And I believe there's a Diablo 4 coming out as well, which I love the Diablo games. Like probably at top 4.
Do you like 3? Did you like 3?
I loved 3.
Did you?
I played 25 seasons.
Wow. How long are seasons? 3 months?
Seasons are 3 months. So, like, you got to the point. So, like, I think, like, Destiny has seasons and stuff.
They do.
So, I don't,
yeah.
I didn't know if I needed to explain.
Yeah. Call of Duty does too.
But, so, it's one of those things where it's like they'll, like, retool, like, set legendaries and stuff like that to do, like, it was just different enough stuff that would make me want to go back and, like, oh, I want to see what that does or whatever. So, like, I was Wizard main forever and ever and ever. But then I would, like, branch out and try other stuff. But, like, I loved all the crazy stuff Wizard could do. Oh, it was so fun. And, like, I want to play it now, actually, just thinking about it. Like, the only thing that I wish is, like, because, like, you could play through the story again if you wanted to, like, do the campaign. But then they had the stuff that was better to do were, like, the Rift challenges. And then you had, like, set dungeons and stuff like that. And those are fun, but I wish there was more variety in those. It got to the point where it's like rushing the story every season. It was just like I could probably beat the main storyline of Diablo 3 in a couple hours. Maybe.
Can you use your character? Continue to use your character? Do you have to start a new one?
You have to start a brand new character for that season. So that's the thing too. So it's like you can push all your stuff. So you have like your legacy characters, all your old stuff, because they keep retooling it. They don't want to. But so I don't. Do you remember the Paragon level system? Yes. So once you hit level cap, which I believe was 70, you would start gaining Paragon levels. You're basically bonus levels on the top. So you'd have your season Paragon levels. Then you had like your Paragon levels would get rolled over into your legacy characters. So like my Paragon level was like 3,000 something, and so you get like these. You could get like an extra 0.1% like attack or stamina or whatever. But like because I had so many, like if I was just rolling around, I could roll around without armor and weapons with all the Paragon points that I had.
Borderlands kind of had somewhat of a little bit similar system, right? So it's like you could play on a character and you had your gamer tag level that would add like 0.1 damage or whatever.
Oh yeah, it was the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It was like Paragon level.
Yep.
Yeah, so then you could start fresh characters as the badass rank.
Yep. That's what it was.
You could start a new character, but invest all those badass points into that character to make them better. So like, there's worth starting new characters and stuff because you could
still level up just a little bit. That would help.
Maz the Spaz on Twitch says a Kylo Ren trilogy rumor was dropped the other day. Do you guys know anything about that?
I do not know anything about that.
I have not heard anything about that.
I would totally love Adam Driver is awesome.
Adam Driver is. He's a
The
good
Force
actor.
Awakens came out and I was like, who is this guy? But in the other two, he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. And
he had good character development.
It holds up.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got Lucasfilm reportedly developing new Ben Solo Star Wars trilogy.
That would be fantastic.
When Skywalker Saga ended after 40 years with Episode 9, many Star Wars fans were dissatisfied with the plot of the sequel trilogy as a whole.
No surprise there.
Yeah, we were on the internet. We know.
I had a patient tell me that he prefers the sequels to the prequels. And I was like,
it's okay to be wrong.
I would. So, OT, obviously the best.
Right.
But between the sequels and the prequels, I'd give them both about the same score, but for vastly different reasons.
yeah.
Like if we took like the best parts of both of them and made like 3 like good movies out of them.
Right.
Anyway, I think like they all have the You could say that there's flaws with the original trilogy. You can check out our Star Wars is Great and Terrible series.
Yep.
And yell at us without any context if you wanted to, like people do. But you can find fault in all of them, but I think there's enough good in all of them to make them at least enjoyable to watch. It's like, not that I want to rehash all this before I finish reading this article, but people build up, like, when a series is spanned 40 years, you build up expectation or what you want to see in this and that. And there's some people that are more vocal than others when what their expectation isn't met. If a certain story isn't told, or if a character that maybe they liked and expanded or Legends doesn't end up appearing, or they do something, whatever. So it's like, it's hard when you have so much media to draw from.
Right.
And so many characters outside of the trilogy series, the saga.
Yep.
To draw from, then that people don't, or if they bring in a character, they change it because whatever. It's just like going from book to film for anything else. There's going to be changes. And there's a lot of dissatisfaction with that. So that being said, there's a cohesion problem with the last trilogy.
Yep.
And that's my big issue with it. Like, the individual films on their own, I think, stand up well enough. But when you try to draw a line through them, it gets really hard to, like, go from 7 to 8 to 9.
Yep.
All right, so blah, 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 blah. Episode 8, yada, yada. A report that a post-Rise of Skywalker trilogy starring Driver as Solo in the works.
Post Rise of Skywalker?
I
Yeah.
thought he did.
He died.
Yeah.
Spoiler if you haven't watched it in a 2-year
It's been
span.
fine.
Yeah, never say never in the Star Wars universe, but it does seem odd that Rey wouldn't have known for sure that Ben died on Exegol. He literally dissolved into the Force, after all. The idea of an entire trilogy starring a Force ghost is far-fetched even for a rumor. Nonetheless, report exists.
I mean, it could be interesting, I suppose, to see like him going from the Luke's Jedi temple or whatever,
But yeah, that'd be
all
a
the way
prequel,
through.
right?
It would be a prequel,
Yeah,
but
so here's what I'm thinking. It might be something, because they passed Life Force back and forth, maybe they're
that's true.
co-inhabiting the same, like, manifestation of their connection to the Force.
What if Rey had to disappear in order for Ben to come back?
I'm sure there would be plenty of people that are fine with that.
Oh Lord.
So Maz comments, Ridley has made comments that her role may not be done. So it could be something like that. It could be his journey in, like, the actual Force
Right.
to do whatever, too.
Yeah,
so,
I
like,
suppose.
I think there's a lot of opportunity there. And I know there's a lot of people that didn't like Rey. I liked Rey just fine.
No, I didn't mind
fine.
Rey. Rey was
So,
fine.
like, she did have a little bit of Mary Sue, whatever, like, unexplained stuff. It's fine. You don't want to make 6-hour-long movies.
Right.
Like,
This isn't boring old Lord of the Rings.
You shut your dirty mouth.
I think Alfred Hitchcock said that all a film is like a story with the boring parts cut out, right?
Yep.
So it's like, that being said, you could set up and do better narrative construction to show how she would have these skills. Like,
Right.
I could buy her being a pilot based on the fact that everybody in Star Wars apparently knows how to pilot
Right.
stuff.
I'm not
It's
such a
true.
bad pilot myself.
You know, it's like, I feel like if in the clutch, if I needed to, you could throw me on a tractor, and in a few minutes I could figure out at least how to make it go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like if there's like a standardized system for the way that vehicles travel, fine.
She spends time dismantling Star Destroyers.
Yeah,
She
so-
understands the systems of ships.
Yeah.
She wears the helmet and pretends.
Yep.
She can speak to BB-8.
Well, she's got her little land speeder.
Yeah.
So it's not that much of a
yeah,
stretch
so-
that she could fly a spaceship.
Yeah, or like be able to repair it when people are like, oh, how would you know how to bypass the
Right.
compressor? It's like
Bypass the compressor.
she literally, ripping
She
stuff out of
disassemble-
ships is
yeah.
what she
Yeah.
does.
Does,
Like,
yeah.
that was the one that drives me the most crazy.
And if I remember correctly, like her takeoff with the Falcon was not exactly the
was
smoothest of
hilarious. Yeah,
takeoffs.
she's
Garbage
used to
will
it.
do.
Yeah.
Swanky says, good evening, ladies, and Brownie.
Oh,
Hello,
I'm
Swanky.
Just
So that's a little military humor.
and, I am so used to it. Yeah. Oh man, I don't even know if I should put this out there. So
Then don't.
Well, so you guys.
You want a close up for this?
Yeah, sure. see my hair, right?
Yeah.
I don't do this on purpose. It's just I don't have hair here.
I thought it was intentional. I
in
see
the-
with the razor going.
In the back, it dips down, and Derek showed me a picture on Facebook, and it said, it looked like the back of my head, and it said, "This haircut should not be allowed in the military." Or whatever. And then he's like, "Hey, look, it's your haircut." I'm like, it's not a haircut. I just cut it off. When it gets long in this, I just cut it off. That's all we do.
We shave it down to a 3 millimeter.
3 mil, huh?
Yep. But here's the funny thing. Our child is growing a thicker patch of hair kind of in the spot that Jeremy is lacking hair.
Yeah, it's
Gave him inverse chromosomes.
the Antiope? No. The
Antipode. Well, Antipode is the opposite spot on the globe.
Yeah, so his is getting hair in the opposite spot of me.
Oh, I guess.
The inverse would be more accurate, I guess.
Yeah, the Antipode would be if he was growing a beard.
Can you imagine little 9-month-old? Nice full beard.
Funny. So we were talking about Ray flying, and then what we were talking about.
Then we
Gabe
started
says
talking about
inverted hair, LOL. No, so like, anyway, I definitely think like I would be more than happy for both Ray and Ben to come back and have more adventures.
Yeah, sure, yeah, absolutely.
And like honestly, like I don't even care if they continue it as if it were like parts. What would it be 10, 11, and 12?
Yeah. Or
this could just be like a side trilogy. Like it doesn't like. I don't care if there's ever another main series, whatever thing. Like we can just call the saga done, move on.
I want Solo too.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
Hello. Boom. Sorry, I just like killed you with Fulcrum's Laku.
I don't know. I'm just gonna read this as written. Swanky says, 9-year-old with a full-grown beer, I'd buy him a beer. I think he means beard. But
Yeah.
I get yelled at by Brad whenever I change what he says.
Oh, there you go. There you
So
go.
Little Chip just sitting there with Swanky with a mug of beer.
he did mean beard. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. See, you didn't have to edit it or whatever. You could have edited it. Or
Yeah. Well, I'll let him revise his own statements.
speak, whatever you call it. So Maz was talking about Star Wars stuff. Mm-hmm. There's the thumbnail. Maz, Kanata.
No, Maz the Spaz. It's a guy's face.
Got it. Maz the Spaz. Did he have any other comments on the story?
Says, I don't agree with it, but what do you think of the idea that Luke in the sequels was the clone Luke?
I've heard that theory.
Because they used his hand to try and perfect the cloning technology. Or whatever.
I follow a lot of Star Wars. Like I keep up.
His heartbeat is on the pulse of the internet.
I keep up with all the main books, but I cannot keep the comics up to. I cannot keep up to. So
There's so many.
I get the snippets of what came out in the comics that is canon. And the fact that it uses
it's basically the Reddit headline about whatever the issue is what I know.
So I know that the hand was used for cloning. I don't think that clone Luke was a clone. I think it was the real Luke.
Yeah, I would agree.
You know,
yeah,
he's just too Lukey.
Yeah,
He's funny. You know, the whole thing where he's like holding the lightsaber and he chucks it, and then the porgs are sitting there jumping on us, poke their eyes out. Then he just mean mugs him while he's sucking the green milk out of the.
A lot of people complained about Luke's story in the sequels. I absolutely thought of like this is a guy who was trying his best to recreate something that ultimately didn't need to be recreated, and his struggles with that, his loss of faith essentially in this thing because he wasn't able to bring it back.
Yep.
You know, it's like the crisis of conscience, the doubt. You know, it's like powerful light, powerful dark, all that stuff. He put himself on one of like a planet to get away from everybody because he just needed to figure stuff out.
Yep.
I think it was great.
I loved it.
I really like the way that his story had progressed, but yeah, I wouldn't say
think, and I even go. So there's a specific complaint people have that he tried to bring Vader back from the dark side, but he had one bad dream about Kylo Ren, and then it started everything, right?
But he didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
He was like thinking about it.
Yes.
Right. You're allowed to have thoughts.
But I mean, the fact that he got so far as to like be over Kylo Ren's or Ben's bed with his lightsaber,
When
like.
I get angry, I get to the edge, but I would never hurt anybody.
Man, if I saw Jeremy standing over me with a sword, I'd be like, "Dear God," you know, like.
But he didn't do anything.
But I didn't do anything.
But if he was standing over me with a look in his eye and a
Kara's
sword
gonna bring
in
the roof
hand,
down on me and then start the first order.
I may pop you with a gun.
No, so and the thing is too, it's like so. Hold on. I have a thought. Just put your hand down.
Don't forget about it.
Just stop. Anyway, so we never get like this is a thing that I think people don't realize as much when they're watching movies, but when you're seeing something unfold, you're anchored either to one of the characters in that scene or you're presented as an objective third party. There's basically two different ways to shoot a scene. So we see the same scene from Luke's perspective and from Kylo's perspective, but not like an objective perspective.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know if it was intentional, but you could argue that because we get the two different sides biased by that character's perspective, that the truth is somewhere in between that.
Totally.
He could have just been holding the lightsaber, like he took it off and he was like thinking it wasn't actually lit, or whatever. You know, it's like there's all this in there. Like you could argue that you weren't an objective observer because you saw the two versions. You were actually tied to one of the two characters. What were you gonna say?
Oh, mine was just that in the book it was definitive that Luke did not have an ignited lightsaber when he was in the tent. He was standing there just staring at Ben. Ben was being fed nightmares through the dark side of the Force to turn against Luke.
Interesting. Okay.
There you go.
And
it was actually relevant.
The
Thank
book
you.
is so good.
And maybe the hand had something to do with that as well then. Like maybe it was had such an effect on Luke.
I think the hand became a thing in the Addams Family. Same hand,
Yeah,
I think.
right,
Or no,
right.
Thing's the left hand. I think Thing is the left hand.
I think Thing is left hand.
Did you read all of the prequel or the sequel?
Nope, I just didn't want to wait for the movie to come out for me to watch it. So like, alright, I'm just gonna read the book.
Oh, Thing is a right hand.
Last Jedi's better as a book than movie.
Yeah, it answers a lot of things that
Alright.
people argue about.
All right, universe crossover confirmed. Thing is a right hand. It's Luke's.
There you go. And
Since Marvel,
and
since
Jar
Marvel
Jar
is owned
a
by
Sith
Disney now
Lord.
too.
Oh
No,
my
that's
gosh, have you seen
ridiculous.
that?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
You haven't seen that video?
Wait, no, I thought he was saying that Addams Family is part of the Marvel universe.
No, but because Marvel is owned by Disney now too, we can say that Marvel's like Infinity Stone powers can reach over to the Addams Family and pull Luke's hand over into it. So it's basically Half-Life 3 confirmed at this point.
have you guys seen the picture of Darth Banks?
I have. I'm
It
well
is-
versed in the.
It is creepy as heck.
Oh yeah. Ugh.
Do not like.
Right?
I don't like the
That's
rendering
like
more than
friggin'
anything.
nightmares right there.
Well, that Jar Jar could never look like that.
I mean, if he was Darth Jar Jar, I'm just saying, like...
All of that happened to Rey in the vision is her teeth got pointy.
She,
and her
yeah, she
eyes
got
get
and yellow pointy
So
teeth.
Jar Jar would he doesn't have any teeth.
How do you know?
Because he sucks that apple up and...
What apple?
He goes
So
to suck
is
an
this-
apple and Qui-Gon grabs
Are you
his
sure it's
tongue
an
and he,
apple?
like,
It's a
pulls-
space apple. It's different.
So that's how you
Oh,
imagine...
he does have teeth.
Is that how you imagine Darth Banks?
Yes. That's a much more accurate representation.
Yeah, just him with Sidious's robes on. All right, so Maz asks, didn't Disney say the next trilogy will be about the earliest days of the Jedi? Has
That's
it
what I
changed?
heard.
No, the books
No,
definitely are.
I
Yeah.
thought that
Oh.
was the series that they're doing next was the... Oh, no, that's just during the High Republic.
Yep. It's just during the
So
High
there's
and
going to
that's
be a
what's-
series during the High Republic. There's some old High Republic books
Right.
coming out.
They are out. At
So
least Barnes has.
Ryan Johnson
one of them.
has another trilogy that's been whatever. You can look at IMDb and they have stuff forecast out to like 2035.
Crazy.
Until production actually starts, I'm going to treat it all as like speculative rumor at best. But
Right.
Well, I thought they said that there would be something coming out like 2025, and then like every 26, 27, and then like 2030 or whatever. Like there'd be. I thought they had stuff already planned out.
I wonder if they have a road map here. Do Star Wars road map. Upcoming Star Wars. Do we believe ET Online?
Sure.
Entertainment Tonight.
I don't know, it could be the extraterrestrial. We don't know.
Spielberg just runs a fanfic Star Wars website.
Okay, let's see. Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian Season 3,
Boba Fett.
Ahsoka, Rangers of the New Republic. I'm interested in that. Andor, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's wrapped filming, I want to say.
I believe you're correct. No, I'm not going to subscribe. Rogue Squadron. That should be pretty cool. That's going to be during the sequel.
The
think.
Rogue Squadron is? I mean, the original games were during the Rebellion.
I think the next Star Wars feature set for the big screen will make history as the first in the franchise to be helmed by female director Patty Jenkins. Future era of the galaxy with Rogue Squadron introducing new generation of star pilots as they earn their wings.
As soon as you
That's
said
cool.
that, if you scroll up a little bit, the X-Wings got the engines cut.
Yep.
Just like we saw at Galaxy's Edge. And then Chewbacca got the drop on us.
Yep.
That
What-
was
I just
amazing.
wonder what that
Wait,
actor
there's a
was thinking.
Lando show?
Yeah,
Well,
young
yeah,
Lando.
called Lando.
About
I hope they
Lando.
call it young Lando, like young Sheldon.
Well, no, but I mean, it follows the.
Yeah,
I feel like
Glover
that
gonna
looks
be in it?
very, I don't know. It reminds me of
Gambino or whatever his name is.
70s or 80s, like opening scenes for movies or whatever.
Sorry, I missed what you said. I was reading the thing.
It's fine.
Is anybody excited for October? What Disney Plus is dropping in October of this year?
What, Visions?
No. The Lego Halloween special, Star Wars Lego Halloween special.
You know, they're
It's got the
Yes.
Night Sisters in it.
Yes,
It
of
looks
course they would.
so
Of course
good.
they would.
It looks so good.
I'm stoked about that. Heck yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. We'll just close that browser now.
Oh, buddy. All right, get us back caught up on chat.
Why is the internet so freaking random?
Was that Strill? Could people see that?
No.
Okay.
No, they just see you guys, and I'm just like, Swanky says, I love the Rogue Squadron books. I'd be down for Lando backstory. Lando is the OG swanky criminal.
There you go.
That-
Well, did you
It's
tell
true.
Swanky what you said?
No, I don't know. What did I say?
I thought you said it.
think
Maybe you
one
said
said
it.
it.
Or somebody said, but they just think of the word Swanky now. They think of
Oh, no, that was me.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I hear
You
the word
think of
swanky,
the
I think
person.
of you, not...
Yeah.
and not being
Not
Swanky.
swing. Yeah. 100%.
Maz says, since Jedi Fallen Order did quite well and is beginning to go ahead for a full franchise, do you think it would make a good Disney Plus series?
Absolutely.
I'd watch the
'cause they
heck out of that.
they
I
could
actually-
give it the time it deserves on screen.
I talked with a patient about that I would love to see more Cal Kestis in BD1.
That's not. Oh, Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking the High Republic
No, Fallen Order.
video game. That would be a great Disney Plus, and the actor looks identical to Cal, the voice actor. Like
They probably just modeled it
they,
after
They
him.
did.
Yeah.
They
I
did.
feel like that happens a lot. Like,
Oh,
voice
BD1
act-
live action. Oh,
Can you
Yes,
imagine? Oh my
please.
gosh, I love BD1 so much. He's
He's
so
only like this big, isn't he?
yeah, he's just tiny. He just kind of hangs out. Just
BD1 Stim Pack.
I love BD1. He's like definitely up there for favorite droid.
Would you let a droid inject you?
He shoots it out. You grab it and inject yourself.
Oh, okay.
It's just
And
like
yes-
the
Where does he
R2
store it?
Well,
He's
you
probably
get
got
storage upgrades for him. The game is perfectly
But it doesn't get any
balanced.
bigger. Would
No,
he
but
use it like a bag
It's
of
a little
holding?
backpack.
Oh my god.
He doesn't, but I'm just curious.
No,
to
he
say,
doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. No, I would if it came to giving myself an injection or letting a droid inject me, I would 1,000% let a droid inject me because I don't do needles.
All right, well, fair enough. Fair enough.
I inject people at work with anesthetic, but
You gave Floyd an IV for a while. To
I
keep him
did
on.
give Floyd an IV. IV needles for animals are huge.
Don't they have like thicker skin than humans? Don't they need like more robust needles to punch through?
I don't know, but it was gross. I hated doing it ever. I felt so bad for Floyd. Oh, it was so gross.
Do people know who Floyd is?
He's a cat. That's no longer with us.
He had kidney failure.
Yeah.
I kept him alive until Jeremy got home from a
Well, we were
TDY.
trying to fix him,
Yeah, we were trying to fix him.
get his kidneys to come back, and they just wouldn't.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Anyways, it's neither
let's not
here
be sad.
Yeah.
Nor there. What else you got for
Matt
comments?
says I'd like a Lando series as well.
Yeah,
I think a
that'd be
Lando
cool.
series would be cool. If
And
they,
Donald
like,
Glover is going to be doing.
No, they have no idea who's gonna.
Okay,
I
it's
think
got to
it
be
would
Donald Glover.
Yeah.
They'd have to give him a lot of money because he's got another TV show. He's a movie star.
And a singer.
But you know how much it would suck though to go from. So you had Billy D. Williams, then you go to Donald Glover, and then you're gonna go to some other rando.
They could do a good job. You
They
never know.
could, but I hate when they constantly.
Lando.
No, what I was going to say was you got that What If series on Marvel and then another What If. They could just
Yeah.
do Rando Lando and just recast him every episode.
That's hilarious.
End of
I
each
like
credits,
that.
it's
Yeah.
just him with a big wheel of names.
Yeah,
Right?
Baz thinks Donald Glover would be too expensive as well. I genuinely.
He probably would be, but it's Disney. They've got money.
Yeah, well, he says there's a lot of good actors out there. I think you could get
There
Star Wars is
are.
known for giving unknown people shots too.
I mean, I know, but they've already had young Lando be Donald Glover, and like I said, I just hate when I watch. There's no consistency. Like when an actor quits a show and they decide to recast it as somebody else halfway through the series. It's like it doesn't feel the same. Like in Last Man Standing.
Yeah, that was recast 3 times.
I hated
his
that.
daughter or whatever.
Yeah.
I
Super
hated that
annoying.
so much. I
They just
like
killed her off. She had a
consistency.
horrible Bass Pro Shop accident or
That's
whatever.
Just
the
like
heck.
she moved away. There you go.
Yeah,
Fixed.
she became
you
hyper
know?
liberal and decided that Tim Allen sucks. you know, okay, so back when I lived on 8th Street, I used to DVR Home Improvement.
Yep.
I love that show.
That's what I would watch that and something else in the morning when I would get home from work. And I used to get so much crap from my buddy Lee for watching it. I don't know why he hated the show. Home Improvement's a really freaking good show.
It is.
So good.
It's so good. And he's just like, He's like, oh, just watching Home Improvement.
Oh my gosh.
That show was good for the same reason. Like I love Ted Lasso. Is you just the characters, the actors get along. They have chemistry. As simple as that.
Yeah.
They have chemistry together, and that makes that show fantastic. His wife, all of his kids, Wilson, Al, Tim Allen, and who's the guy who plays Al?
Richard Karn.
They're just so funny together. They're
Yeah.
so funny. Oh man.
It's true.
I honestly feel like sometimes when I'm doing construction projects that. What are you laughing at? My dad wants to do things where he's like Tim in a way, and it's like I'm trying to like
Dial him back.
you know.
Oh.
So
So it took him 45 minutes to bring up Ted Lasso, a new record.
If you'd watch it, you'd realize how good it was.
Yeah, we're only 31 minutes into the podcast.
Brad's probably just counting the 15-minute.
Oh, yeah, the buffer we throw at the beginning because we're lazy.
But I didn't talk about it during the pre-show. That's only for people in this room. I'm just kidding.
Maz says, I don't understand the hate against the Solo movie. I liked it, watched it several
Solo's
times.
so
I'm up
good.
for Solo, too.
Well, I've talked, again, when I have patience, a lot of times talk about Star Wars, just because, that's what I like. Anyway, I've had quite a few people say they didn't watch it in theaters because of how much they hated Force Awakens,
The Last Jedi.
Last Jedi. And they said they watched it afterwards, and they loved it. Said it was one of the better Star Wars movies. And it's like, if more people would have not boycotted it, we
Yeah.
probably would have gotten a Solo too.
Well, I think they were doing the thing they're voting with their dollar type of thing.
Yeah.
It's like because they're disappointed in this, they won't support that. So
I did that in Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
I turned off Adventure Sync until they increased the stop distance.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. They're all talking about it on Reddit to do it. And I
Yeah,
jumped on the
well, you
bandwagon.
should have told me. I would have predicted. Well, it doesn't matter.
Well, they
It got fixed
increased
now.
it, so
yeah, because it doesn't matter
Thanks,
now.
me.
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
job,
Is your
Jeremy.
shoulder sore from the back
Yeah,
pants,
right.
Jeremy?
Right? There's like a handprint on his back now.
I'm just doing my part.
Oh, Lordy.
Let's see. Swanky says, I don't think they should do a Solo 2. I'm still upset of turning the spice mines into a battery factory.
In L3's whole
Oh.
thing. Wasn't that still Spice?
I guess I only saw the movie once.
I'm sure they
so I
didn't
don't
want to
remember.
promote drugs.
So you guys have both said that spice is both spices and drugs. So
Well, Star Wars didn't make it clear, but when I think of Spice, I think of drugs. And that's specifically from the original Han Solo A.C. Crispin trilogy. Because his first girlfriend, that leaves him. What a great
Chewbacca.
book.
no, those are very, very,
They're
very
so
good.
good.
I
He
still
rescues
remember the
this girl.
covers. Like I can just see.
This alien
those in middle
race
school, I think.
is immune to the effects of this spice.
Okay.
So they enslave everybody, and they're like by mining. While they're mining it, they get high while mining it. But it like drags them through the bone, and people only live 3 to 5 years or something while they're mining this stuff because it works them to the bone. But they just get high while they're doing it, so they're okay with it. So Han stops on this planet. He meets this woman. He falls in love. So he busts her out, and as soon as she gets home and she's away from the spice, she starts to get some clarity and get some visions and everything together. And she goes back to her family, and she just writes him a note, basically saying, "Stay away from me." And she runs away from him. She got to go find herself. So then that's what broke his heart, and then he enlists in the
Aren't those same aliens? Aren't they also immune to the Force or something too?
I'm not sure if they're immune to the Force. But it sounds like that could be a thing. But he doesn't use the Force, so you just...
No,
yeah.
but I feel like I thought there was something where there's I might be confusing two different things that I had read, but in that same thing where they had. Or maybe they're kind of Force sensitive, but it's different or something. I can't remember. There's something weird where it was Force alluded to.
Oh, that's right. They were... What are the throat singers? They're the
Like the
real people
in real life.
Tibetan throat singers.
Tibetan throat singers. That's what they did, Chris. They
can-
released their pheromones via throat singing.
Oh,
to, like,
they could, yeah. You're right.
That's what they did. Yeah, so they would like
Mongolia.
flirt with everybody by and it would release pheromones that would cause them to like them, and it was a good book.
It was a very good
It was
book.
a really good book. And you meet why he loves Wookiees so much because he was raised by one Dulana or whatever on a ship.
Yeah, like she helped him escape from
Yeah.
slavery from a ship, and she died in the process.
They shot her for letting him go.
Very
good
good
Wookiee.
book.
Yeah.
Very
I
good
bought you that for
series.
okay.
No.
We read that in like middle school.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I bought Jeremy.
They remade it
They remade it, and Barnes & Noble released the trilogy or whatever
as one book.
in one book, right? So Jeremy had been talking about how much he wants
This
this
is not
book.
a rule. This is the whole. It's not a rule.
Jeremy had been talking about how much he wanted this book, like just a few weeks before Christmas, right?
I'm walking through Barnes and
So
Noble. I buy the book.
I bought the book to give Jeremy as a Christmas gift. Okay, I had it in my car for like a week, and Jeremy, I come home from work one day, and Jeremy's like, "Kara, look what I bought. I'm Jeremy." And he bought the book. I was so mad. I was like, don't you know, you don't tell people what you want and then, like, right before Christmas, and then go and buy it.
It's an unwritten rule. You don't buy yourself anything before Christmas.
You don't.
That's not a rule.
It is a rule.
Oh, it's okay. I can't fill gas in my car. I can't buy myself a cheeseburger. You can't buy yourself anything, huh? You're gonna give me a fuel tank, cheeseburger, Christmas presents.
You
lot of
can't buy
detergents.
yourself things.
Sorry, Chip. No
You can buy
diapers for you. You can't get me.
Out of here. You can buy yourself necessities, but that was not a necessity.
It was. You don't know.
Jeremy,
We have a Star
Jeremy,
Wars podcast.
Jeremy.
It was a necessity.
Have you read it since you bought it?
Yes.
The whole thing?
No, because I want you to read it. I have read it.
My favorite part of that whole exchange was how accurate Kara's impression of you was, because you always say, "Oh, Jeremy," at the end of your sentences.
Nobody imitates me like Kara imitating me.
Oh my gosh.
Truly.
There are some answers in the thing here, but Maz asked, "Are the Night Sisters a part of Star Wars canon before Fallen Order, and if so, when did they first show up?"
Clone
Wars, the cartoon show. You can talk about them forever. There's an amazing story arc where they rescue Maul, give him a new robot legs, and they're in there. But yes,
He gets two different sets of legs.
The character.
So he gets his set because he's first found by Savage, wasn't it? In this trash pit
So
on this
Maul's
trash
people
planet.
are the male versions of the Night Sisters. So
I forget the names.
and the Night Sisters actually run the planet, not the men.
Yeah.
They go and just pick subjects and just kidnap them.
The other male dude, what was his
Savage.
name? No, was that?
Savage Opress.
Savage Opress,
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Poor Savage.
Because they just getting one up by Darth Maul all the time.
Well, so Palpatine uses Maul as an apprentice. Then he gets Dooku. So then Dooku gets Asajj. And then Dooku throws Asajj to the wolves. So then she grabs Savage. And then Savage they trick Dooku into taking on Savage as a new apprentice. But then
That's
it's
right.
actually a trap. And then Dooku figures it out and like force lightnings the crap out of him. And so Savage just gets whatever. And then him and Maul team
he didn't
up.
like make any choices for himself.
No,
he just
He
got
really
pushed.
didn't. He was a
I'm getting.
pawn.
Yeah.
He was a puppet the whole
So then
entire
Maul's
time.
like, come with me. And then Sidious finds out that Dooku's still around. Asajj isn't dead. Maul's still around. And then Maul's got Savage. So he's like, I got to end this. And the scene where he just mows down Savage. He's like, I've got plans for you yet, Maul. So, it's just...
Yeah,
It's
there's never only two.
general... It's
It's
like
true.
a soap opera of the Sith over here.
Speaking...
The Night Sister?
She is.
Okay, that's
I was going to say, did you finish Dark Disciple yet?
No, I have not finished it.
Okay. You'll have to let me know what you think of it when you finish it, because it's good. It's good.
So Swanky said, hold on. I can't remember what series, but I believe it was the series that introduced Mara Jade. I don't know if that.
The A.C. Crispin books.
Okay.
Yep.
Brad says Jeremy has no self-control. You can't buy him something when he says he likes it, or tell him secrets.
I know.
Who said that?
Brad did.
Does Brad buy me stuff?
No.
Did Brad get me AC Crispin Han Solo trilogy around Christmas?
He did, but then you admitted that you bought it for yourself and
Yeah.
got all mad.
So he got all mad and returned it.
I don't know if it's he probably just keeps it on his mantelpiece.
I just like how I have a giant R2D2 wallpapered on the wall in a building that we borrow so that we can have a Star Wars podcast, and Kara thinks a book about Star Wars is not a necessity in my life.
It's not. It's not.
Her mom is the only one who tracks down Star Wars stuff that I don't already own.
It's
and
true.
It's the coolest stuff. There's this game called Top Trump, okay, and it has nothing to do with the president. You have facts about each character, so it's like height. Then there's generic ones they assign.
Force,
like,
power, something.
Dark side level, light side level, speed is one, whatever. And so you each draw a card, and it's like war, but it goes back and forth whose turn it is. So you look at your character, and you're like, I might have Chewbacca. So I might say, I'm going to go with height, because he's a really tall character. So then you both play, and if their height is taller than yours, then they get the card. If your height's taller, you get the card. Super fun game. So they've got Star Wars characters. They've got one with Star Wars ships. They've got like 3 or 4 Star Wars ones. Really, really fun.
I think they have one for like the prequels, original, and sequels.
I think she found me the Wookiee books. Like It's like where's Waldo, but where's Chewbacca instead.
Where's
Super
the
good
Wookiee?
Books.
We did Star Wars Every Day about that one, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
I think so.
Yes, we did. We should reboot that when we go down to the new building.
I don't know.
Star
Try
Wars Every Day?
YouTube Shorts. Try it on YouTube Shorts and see how it does.
Oh yeah, there you
Maybe
go.
we should just make a channel for it though. Just a YouTube Shorts channel. See what it does. And then be like, if you guys want to have longer drawn out conversations.
Well, I think we need something between under a minute and 90 minutes. It needs to be like the 15 to 20 minute range channel.
Right.
Oh, so the story channel?
Yeah.
All right,
It can
any
be
other
my
comments to
my
catch up on?
cosplay channel. Coming up in December, I'm going to be having Thursdays, most Fridays, the weekend, and Mondays off. So,
Why is that?
Because Kara's just taking over another day to watch Chip.
yep,
So it's the easiest to not put Chip in daycare.
yep.
'Cause
So
he's not in daycare right
He should just get a freaking job.
Right, that's what I think.
a baby model. I mean, just saying. People have said he's Gerber baby quality.
I think they're talking about being like in the baby food, not represented.
Oh, baby boy.
He's fine.
Let's see here. Just side conversation happening in Twitch.
Who is it that usually argues? Swanky with other people? Or
Yeah,
Brad with other
the
people?
Swanky versus the universe is basically how that works.
Needs to be a TV show. Swanky versus the universe.
All right,
That's it.
Chris, you said you had it. Did you? Any other
Oh.
Star Wars talk? Shoot it at us. We'll make a transition into just some other fun storytelling or fun topics, but
Okay.
Sure.
we can always go back.
Oh, yeah, do you want
Chris.
to plug merch?
Sure.
Oh, gosh.
Do you have the
you gu-
things?
okay, you guys tap dance for a second whilst I get assets.
Jeremy, you heard him get up and tap dance.
Can't tap in these.
Pretend.
No, I'm not going to pretend.
Why? It'd be funny.
For you guys,
Yeah, and the world.
was it funny when I ate that chip?
Yep.
Nope. Apparently, the next one's out. They're for sale.
Oh, really?
Yeah, somebody messed up, and they said they really like spicy foods, but there was 2 chips in there. Was there 2 chips in the bag?
No, there's just
They
one.
got one with 2. So they took a bite and they didn't feel anything, so they just ate both chips at the same time. And they said it like destroyed their mouth. Well, then they can't drink milk because they're lactose intolerant.
Oh.
So it was like all you could do was bread and water, and it just wasn't helping. And then you like make it spread around your
Man,
mouth.
even if I was lactose intolerant, I'd just be chugging a gallon of milk and just deal with the after effects, because that would not feel good. I'm just saying. Oh, we did talk about like almond milk and oat milk and stuff like that. Did those help with spice?
No, it's the lactose in the. Is that the lactose, the milk fat that?
I believe you're right.
No, fine. Fine. Are you gonna do this the new chip though?
Nope.
Why?
I'm retired.
You're retired, hey?
I am retired. Gwen can't this year.
Nope.
At least not right now.
All right now.
Nope.
Will when I'm available.
You're almost there, girl. You're almost there.
So close.
Go back to having normal balance again.
Nothing goes back to
Doors are
normal.
worse.
Yeah.
Because I forget how much more this way I am,
Yeah.
and I'm constantly banging doors into my belly.
Yup.
Like, well, there's a little brain damage. Okay.
It's okay there.
The water disperses the shock throughout the.
Right.
Oh, perfect.
Lord.
All right, Chris is just pulling this up.
Yeah, I need like one more minute.
A 1 more minute, guys. A 1. A 2. A 3.
Okay, hold on. I'll give you guys some chat to think about here. Oh gosh.
Are they out of their personal conversations?
I think so.
Nice.
Hold on. Okay. Well, never mind. I can't scroll while I'm also trying to pull in a thing. So give me a second. Oh gosh.
What?
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
All right, and I need to add 2 more sources. You guys are
We're just gonna stare at you.
Yep.
very
Watch
good.
you make mistakes.
Well, I saw a thing on Facebook, and it made me. I had to think about it. What poster did you have on your wall when you were in high school?
What posters did I have on my wall?
Yep.
Well, not a lot, because my dad said that any type of like tack strips will remove the paint. That's true.
That sounds so true.
Well, you don't want to put that up there. It's going to remove the paint from the wall.
Your dad is
Paint.
hilarious.
It's still going to remove the paint. Well, we'll just repaint it. Do you know how hard it is to paint match that paint, son?
Oh my god.
Can't get it anymore.
So you didn't have posters at all?
I think I had like Halo 3 Master Chief poster, and then probably whatever map comes inside the video game sleeve for
Okay.
Skyrim or
So
not
video
Skyrim,
game
but,
things.
Be Oblivion or Morrowind at the time.
Okay. All right. Did you have posters?
No, because we didn't have walls.
That's true. I talk about I don't want to live in an unfinished place or whatever. Like literally, I just lived in a room that was studs only for most of my life.
Crazy.
Dang.
So.
Well, then you're already further along.
And I had a
Yeah, that's not the way that I want to look at
I
it.
know.
I had a ton of Orlando Bloom posters on my wall.
Well, everybody knows that.
She still has a ton on her wall. You just
Yep.
don't see them.
On the inside of the closet door.
Right.
Morning smooches.
It's on the ceiling.
I would see those.
You had a life-size cutout.
I did of Legolas and Gimli. It wasn't just Orlando. I had a mad crush on Orlando. I'm just saying. He's not like Ewan McGregor though. Ewan McGregor has aged like fine wine. I feel Orlando Bloom has not.
I have not seen recent Orlando Bloom.
I feel he is
What,
Just-
Kara? What?
just doesn't look as good as he did. Just saying.
Just give him a sec.
Give him a sec.
Yep. Okay.
Let him go get some Botox.
All right, so real quick before I do the t-shirt thing. So Maz says, are we excited about the new Obi-Wan series? Aren't they done filming?
I'm so excited about
What do you
Obi-Wan.
hope to see in the series? So
99% positive.
I do want to talk more about that, so I'm just acknowledging that it exists. We should come back to that.
I did just say Ewan McGregor has aged like fine wine, so yes, I'm very excited about the Obi-Wan series.
Maz, if you haven't, it's recommended getting Apple Plus and going watching his motorcycle documentary series.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
Oh. So I have a patient who has ridden from, I think it was Anchorage, Alaska, all the way right before COVID shut the world down. He was like 2 or 3 weeks away from hitting the tip of South America.
Wow.
Dang.
Yep. He's done quite a few like long motorcycle trips, and I asked him, I was like, I asked him if he'd watched the Ewan McGregor series, and he said yes, he had. And I was like, so is that what inspired you? And he said, nope, just wanted to do it. He said he took a year of his life and just went from up in Alaska all the way down to South America. And he says as soon as the borders open back up, his motorcycle is still currently down there. They were trying to round people up and put them in quarantine areas, like foreigners. And he was like, he said he took his bike and he was trying to book it out to the airport, and they got him like right before he got there. And he's like, I just want to get to the airport and leave. And so he had to leave his bike down there. And so his bike is currently down there, but as soon as the borders open back up, he's going to head back down and finish off the trip. Yeah. I thought that was kind of cool, talking about that Ewan McGregor show.
That is cool.
Yeah. I told him that you want to do a couple rides with your motorcycle, and yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so finally, I'm sorry anything that happened in chat. We're not going back to that except for the Obi-Wan thing. So we finally have some merchandise options.
Ooh.
Bam! Strategically placed.
Wait.
So the links are in the description.
Oh,
for the
Kara's
stream.
wearing it.
You just got to take like 3 more steps forward, Kara.
It's just, I just got
Oh,
a
here.
large body. Look there's my little feet. Oh, fine. I'm trying to drop which shoulder is it that's raised? There we go.
There we go. Perfect. So that's
put
still
your
kind
arms
of
out.
long, but maybe be more like that-ish. Yeah, hey, there we go. There we go. So actually, so we're gonna go like this. This is
Lordy.
Jeremy's shirt. Oh, that's a little small. I know he likes them tight, but not that tight. This is the worst podcast in the history of time. If you're listening to the audio-only version, we apologize because we're messing around with showing off the T-shirts that we've
merchandise.
designed. But so there's 3 options available. So Brad sent me a link to a place that that lets us do.
Dang it, Chris!
Lets us do merch without having to buy 500 T-shirts ourselves and then try and sell them.
Yep.
So if you like any of these designs, so we'll just do this one. So Jeremy's favorite phrase on the internet.
My heart.
If you like that shirt, it's available in sizes from I think small to 2X. They're $23. That we're selling them at cost because we just want people that are demanding for us to make stuff to be able to get them. So this one's 23. This one's 23. This one is 2 sides. This is the back. It's like a tour tee. I'm gonna make this one small again. Right there. So this is the back of like a concert tee. So on the front, on the left-hand side is the blue logo. And then on the back it says Galactic Tour, and then there's a bunch of different Star Wars locations in Erebesh. So I think it's Mos Eisley Cantina, Jabba's Palace, a bunch of other cool places. So pretty neat. This one, unfortunately, because it's front and back printed, is like $32. But I think it's cool. It's my favorite one of the bunch, but it's also like the most expensive. And then there's the classic, just the Rise of the Podcast logo. Humongous across the front. This one's also like $23. All of them are available until October 1st.
Nice.
So, and for any of them to be printed, 5 of them need to be ordered. So, oh my gosh, that one's lost forever. There we go. Now I can get to it. So, if you like one and you want one, the only caveat of using this system is that 5 need to be sold before they'll do the print run. So
5 of one specific
5
one?
of one specific one have to be made. So if you have your heart set on Jeremy's catchphrase, 5 need to be bought. And so
I'll just order 4. If I see somebody orders one, I'll order 4.
I believe it says that they will ship on October 11th if they hit the goal. So that's that. That's us shamelessly plugging merchandise that you guys can buy if you so choose. We are making literally nothing. There should be a link in the stream. Otherwise, so let's see here. I am going to copy and paste some links into the chat here. Oh my gosh, why is
You
this?
can do it, Chris.
Oh, did it. Oh my gosh, I'm the best at the internet. Okay, so I'm going to send this to Twitch first. So here are links to each of the 3 designs on Twitch. Oh, what a horrible mess. And then YouTube and on Facebook.
It'd been funny if you're on Facebook and you're like, here's a link to YouTube or Twitch.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. Yeah, next week is like, so I'm going to leave these up because I like covering Jeremy and Kara with them. It's funny to me. So yeah, Dave wants to know if we'll update on how many have been ordered. Yeah, we'll give you an update to see if anything's getting close. Like I said, these will be open until October 1st. We got 3 weeks basically.
Right. Maybe we'll do a giveaway in a week or 2. Buy the ones that are.
Yeah, fill in the gaps or something. Yeah. So I believe these are drop shipped. So if I haven't seen the other side of the process of this, so I think they send them directly out to you guys. But maybe in the future we'll like get some, and if you guys are interested in getting like signed merch or something,
Ooh.
I don't know how much you care to see our handwriting on your clothing, but that could be a thing too. So there's that. There's the things.
All the tings.
It's when you make it Swanky versus the universe.
As soon as 5 people say they'll buy that shirt. So, and then if you guys have any other ideas for stuff that you'd like to see, we can of course do that. But we'll see how this goes. First. And yeah, so there we go. That is our shameless plug. Is there any chat that I missed? Oh, yeah, the links are also on our Discord channel. So speaking of horrible things that you can do, you can join our Discord. There's a link in the description to join Discord. We post on there somewhat erratically. I'm on there more than other people, but we still try.
True. I get on like once a week, Saturday nights.
Saturday nights at 8:30.
I'm the queen of the server, and I check her once a week, maybe. What?
Swanky's like, I'll buy 5 Swanky versus the universe. And he misspelled buy and Swanky, so then he corrected himself for both of those things. And he says he can't type today.
How are you at characters, Chris?
I mean, like, I could make up like a chibi art style something. So.
There you go.
He says he's been absent from Discord since I took a job. Yeah, so like, you're on there still more than other people, I think.
Kara.
Yeah. So Gwen finally just joined like yesterday.
Nice.
So, and that was funny. Like, you know my relationship with pizza.
Yes.
So it has the Discord gives like welcome messages or whatever. It's like, welcome Gwen, we hope you brought pizza. So anyway, so that's that. Do we want to wrap back to the Obi-Wan series now?
Sure.
Okay.
So,
Like, what are we expecting? Blah, blah,
Gabe's
blah.
page had shared some, like leaked photos and stuff of the set. I have no idea where they're gonna go with it. I'm just excited to see Ewan McGregor reprise his role. It's gonna be 6 episodes that are like an hour and a half long. So I like all that. It's gonna be good. They're not gonna mess it up.
They better not mess it up. I will come after them with the Force.
So what are you expecting story-wise out of it? Like, what do you think they're going to be?
I mean, it has to be
his time on Tatooine
before becoming old Ben, and then after. But he can still. I don't think he's like locked to Tatooine. I think he can go anywhere he wants to.
It's true. Do you think he does though? Because I don't know. In A New Hope, there's.
I'll bet you there'll be like another cool. Like I bet you they're gonna probably do a bar fight scene, maybe again. Where
cut somebody else's arm off.
Yeah, or something. Some other drama there. Protecting Luke, making sure Luke doesn't get found out. I'm sure it's gonna be a big.
Yeah, it'll probably. Do you think it'll show maybe a little bit of like Luke?
Like
this is the Bad Batch dilemma now. Mm-hmm. So if you think about Solo the movie, Maul made a cameo in the end of it. Mm-hmm. Season 1 of Mando was Boba Fett a cameo. Yes, because
right at the very,
she had the
end.
That's right. Yeah.
The Feng Shui, what was her name?
Fennec Shand.
Fennec Shand. They'd go after something together, and then you see like Tamora Morrison's outline. And then, of course, Mando Season 2, you had the Luke cameo. So people watched Bad Batch. They're waiting for some big cameo. And I was like, it didn't need one. Bad Batch was great. I loved it. Didn't need a cameo at all at the end of it.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure people are like, Kenobi, they're like, oh, who's going to be the cameo? It's Obi-Wan. You don't need a cameo. It's
General Grievous comes back.
Oh. General
Hello there.
Yeah, right.
Episode of Obi-Wan hiding behind a moisture evaporator with a pair of binos looking at Luke.
Yep.
Yep. That'd be hilarious.
Maz wants to know, do you think we will get a visit to Dagobah?
Probably. I don't see why not.
Yeah, like, Obi-Wan going to...
How else would he know that Yoda's there? Yoda has to have told him at some point that that's where he's going. When he's like,
well, I mean, in the sequels, like, there's the Force communication or whatever between... Which I guess... They said that was put together by
Snoke.
Thank you.
Yeah, he was facilitating the.
But
even though he was already dead when they did the lightsaber toss.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, through the triad or dyad in the Force or whatever.
I think that dyad business is what's going to come back if they do a Ben Solo trilogy. Right. It's going to be something about how they were like, whatever. Anyway, we're getting off. I honestly, whatever they decide to do, as long as they don't do it poorly, is going to be awesome.
It's Ian McGregor.
It's going to be 100%. So we got the Imperial time frame, so it's going to be stormtroopers.
Yep.
That'll be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get enough of how they portray the Empire. Mando had great stormtrooper cameos, like all the stormtroopers in the first season. So good. Even in the second one, that whole scene with Bill Burr sitting down and that Admiral guy sitting there talking. It's just so good.
Yeah.
Really, really, really good.
So, yeah, I think that's... We don't want to, like... I don't think, a group of people that like tries to set up like gigantic, like if it's not this, I'm gonna be super angry or whatever. So
well, you already talked about that. Like a lot of people had expectations for the sequel trilogy and got mad because it didn't follow what they wanted it to be. So it's like,
it's if Ahsoka doesn't show up and if whoever doesn't show up and if what's her name isn't there, I'm gonna be so angry. And and if the Bad Batch doesn't come through, it's like, come on.
I wouldn't mind if Ahsoka did make a cross into Kenobi, since Ahsoka did fight so much with Anakin and Obi-Wan during the Clone Wars. Like, I'd be okay if, like, in her travels of running away from the Empire, she happened upon Obi-Wan on Tatooine or something.
You think she'd be, like, crazy mad at him still?
No, I don't know. I don't think Ahsoka holds grudges necessarily.
Well, she held enough of a grudge to quit the Jedi.
Well, she was accused of murder.
But she got cleared. And she's like, I'm done with this crap. I'm out of here. Gonna hang out with a mechanic for 4 episodes.
Well, I think her thing was no one was willing to try and prove her innocent.
Right, except for Anakin.
It's like Anakin was
the
trying.
only one.
So, yeah.
Even though
I think the saltiest person in the Star Wars universe is Ahsoka.
The saltiest person is C-3PO.
I mean, this is true.
He says, "There's your bar fight: Obi-Wan versus Ahsoka." That would honestly be pretty freaking cool.
Yeah,
I would watch that.
I'd watch that too. I'd watch that too.
He's like, "Oh man, how cool would that be?" He's like, "Ahsoka's like Anakin's kid's here, and I gotta like keep him safe." She's like, "What?" And she wants to like kill him or something, and then they have to fight. And then he finally convinces. That would be amazing. Now I've set up expectations. Now that doesn't happen, I'm going to be sad.
I can't see Ahsoka just going after Kenobi, though.
No, but I mean...
she's not going after Kenobi. Kenobi's trying to stop her from killing Luke. If that's the whole... if we just unlocked the plot of Kenobi...
Ahsoka's not going to go after a baby.
He'll be a young child.
She's not going to go after a young child.
Oh, she will. What would Anakin do?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So,
I don't know how true it is, but apparently you become a master if your Padawan reaches the Jedi Knight level. So that was the reason why Anakin was never granted the rank of master, because Ahsoka never made it to a Jedi Knight, because she was a Padawan when she left the Order. So that's why he never got the rank of master.
Oh.
Well...
So if he took on a new Padawan and they made it, then would he be eligible?
Yep.
So then why did Samuel L. Jackson make the big deal that he put someone on the council but doesn't make him a master then?
Because Snips left. She bounced. He's still got to take on a Padawan.
I feel like I don't buy it.
It just was a fun thing,
Yeah. So
It could be
anyway,
true.
now I just want the series to be coming out now. Ugh.
That's
Is there
next year. Is it February or something like that?
The last thing I saw was TBA, so I'm not sure.
Oh. Boba Fett's this year, though, isn't it?
December.
Yeah.
I gotta check something. There was something in the Discord earlier this week that I thought we should talk about, and I haven't gotten to the thing that I told Gwen to remind me about either. Was it in here? Oh. Jeremy's leg wound. Everpress. Oh gosh. Where was that? News? No. We have too many things. I don't know where any of the stuff is in here anymore. Star Wars Visions will fully release all episodes on the 22nd. That's what
nice.
So we can do a big binge of Visions
That's
when it
nice.
comes out. So
Just
that's
have my
gonna be sweet.
parents babysit Chip.
Ha! What are you guys going to do? Watch Star Wars.
What else would they think that we were doing?
I mean, it's true. It's true. It's true.
So, yeah, okay, cool. So that's what I want to get to on that. Okay, so now what was the thing that I wanted to... Oh, okay. So this isn't specifically about this particular post, but this kind of post is what I wanted to talk about. So I've been seeing these all over the place. You can only keep 2 or you can only keep 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So in this particular one, it says you can only keep 3, which 3, and then there's a list of things. And so what I'm curious about is when people are excluding some of these things, there are some things that are like so broad that like for them to not exist, you would have to like destroy complete other segments of like reality, right?
Right.
So, for example, like on this one, it's like chocolate, coffee, whatever, right? So like if chocolate didn't exist, like that's easy enough. It's just like one food that you didn't process, right? Like books. If books didn't exist, like it'd be so hard to have a written language and not have books. It's like if we what I want to do is try and like take some of these things to their like logical conclusion. So what would have to happen for books to not exist?
A lot.
You know, so it's like
to have never existed or to just not exist now.
So it says we only get to keep 3, so I guess maybe they would just go away, but I'm thinking in a universe where only 3 of these things will exist. Like what 3 things? So if we go the opposite way, so we decide to keep books, that like would that keep, you know, like Netflix is like or something, you know, it's like
right.
How would you be able to maneuver this to have like the best outcome because you're not destroying, like basically written language would have to not exist for books to not exist, because like books are the first thing that happens after you start writing stuff down, essentially.
Well, what's fun about that is then you just really get into semantics too. So it's like, do ebooks count? But my first interpretation of that is books that people read as I guess if a book was your vice. Because coffee and chocolate, what is there?
Here's the whole list.
Okay.
Chocolate, coffee, cats, dogs, jewelry, books, makeup, cheese, Netflix, wine, and tacos.
Okay, all right. That obvious. I mean, we can't put too much thought into this, but I'll appease you. So here, let's go down the list. For cat and dogs to not exist anymore, big deal, because there's like 700 million thousands of each ones. But I would say that their intent would be cats as dogs as pets.
Yeah.
So it's like you couldn't domesticate cats and dogs anymore.
Yeah, and that'd be relative. Like history, I think goes largely unchanged. Like hunting gathering becomes more complicated because dogs definitely helped with that.
Cheese is specific enough, but it's really funny because it's like if you couldn't keep cheese, it means you're like no cheese in your cheeseburger.
Yeah,
you'd have milk.
It's like pizza goes away, nachos goes away.
Right. Well, good pizza would go away.
Well, if pizza doesn't have cheese on it, it's not pizza anymore.
It's just a piece of bread with tomato sauce and toppings.
Yeah, it's just saucy meat bread.
It's true.
Well, that's still all right.
So here's the thing. So like chocolate going away, not a big deal.
But if you're in the middle,
chocolate isn't like a cornerstone thing.
But yeah, chocolate chip
if you're in the middle of eating
and
a grilled cheese and then it goes away, you'd only have grilled bread.
Grilled bread isn't bad though.
It'd be toast, basically.
So like I'm looking at these things like jewelry goes away. That doesn't really affect the course of human history.
How do you know they're king?
Is
tattoos.
Is a crown? I don't know if so. Take the jewels off of a crown. Let's say it's just the metal, right?
Right.
I think that's still sufficient to identify you as a king.
But the reason why I bring up the whole like vice thing is, and why I think that one in particular is
Brad, I'm gonna ban you from chat if you keep talking.
What'd he say?
He said pizza without cheese is Little Caesars. I'm gonna make a Little Caesars shirt, and that's the only shirt that's gonna be available to buy.
No. What he's gonna when people go to order the shirt, Chris is gonna change the design before it ships out.
Every single one of them is gonna say Little Caesars is amazing on the back.
Little
and I'll
Caesars
pay the difference.
is greater than White Castle.
Yes.
Because it's not. Anyways, the book one is interesting to me because, boiling down a vice that people need to eliminate. I think the simplest thing for everyone to get on the same page with is a cigarette, smoking. I think that's like it's easily known as a vice.
Yeah.
And most people who even do it want to quit. Like and some people don't care, but that is an easy vice to get rid of. And coffee is another one. Some people are like, I got to switch to tea or I got to go without caffeine. So and then chocolate also very easy just as like a vice, right? The thing that's fun about books is like I said, cats and dogs, I mean, they wouldn't go away, but they'd be domesticated as pets.
Yeah.
So when it comes to books, I think it would be books that people use for entertainment. But the fun thing about books is people have different... Some people really like reading nonfiction. Some people really like reading about geography. Some people really...
So 90% of the books I own are textbooks about filmmaking.
Yeah. See, so it would really whack such a wide variety because it might be a vice for you, might not be a vice for else. And simply meaning it'd be like if you read too much... That'd be, a reason why somebody would keep that.
Yeah, but books I think would be the most devastating one to lose.
Right.
Yeah.
And do they go away for everybody or just for you?
That's not defined either.
Yeah.
If it was just for me, I honestly, if Netflix went away, I barely watch Netflix.
Right.
You know, so it's like I think like so some of the categories I think are too narrow. Like Netflix goes away, I don't care.
Was Netflix on that list? You can only keep
Yes.
2? I'd keep coffee. I'd
So-
keep coffee twice.
So here's the thing: if chocolate coffee, so like I like cats and dogs, my life would not be radically different if they didn't exist, right? I don't care about jewelry. I would keep books because books are just a functional cornerstone of society.
Right.
Right? Makeup, could care less. I would just like not look at people as much, I guess. I don't know. Cheese, I guess, is like one of the most important things left on here. I don't care about wine. So I would keep cheese, tacos, and books, I guess. Because those are
How do you... Okay, so by beef with tacos, again, books it's easy enough to eliminate. When does a taco become a taco? So you have the hard shell.
Yep.
Still not a taco yet. Then you put meat on it. Does that instantly unqualify it? What could you add to a taco to unmake it a taco? What if you put ranch dressing on it?
I think it's mostly the shell. If you take the shell away and like wrap it in like a lasagna noodle, it's not a taco.
Taco lasagna.
Maybe that's a good YouTube channel.
That'd be really good.
Is
Man, that's what I'm gonna make. I'm gonna make for dinner taco lasagna tomorrow.
Yeah, is it still X?
Yeah. Well, it'd be a fun YouTube channel. It'd be like a lawyer's point of view, but not a real lawyer, but like a law clear breakdown of
taking a legal examination
Yeah.
of what constituently.
What I want to say, we just had a conversation about something. Not us. I had a conversation about something very similar about all this. What was it about?
Could be a deja vu thing.
It was literally like the semantics of when one thing changed, like when it knows no longer that, and then it switches to something else. Interesting, but yeah, like a taco, I feel you could easily lawyer yourself around a taco and still have it.
So like let's say you have the tortilla shell, you have the meat, you don't have the seasoning. Is that still a taco, or is it just like a hot beef hot beef tortilla
Wrap?
Right.
Well, then what makes it a taco, and what makes a wrap and a taco a taco?
Yeah, or what?
Because
like, are
they still use the flour tortillas to make a taco.
Are they still specifically talking about taco? That's just the U-shaped tortilla, or does it include burritos? Does it include are fajitas lumped in with a taco thing? Is it just talking about Mexican food in general now? Like tacos are very
I guess
broad.
I truly don't.
Yeah.
Like, if you ask me what a burrito is, I'd say like Chipotle, right? So you have rice, beans, meat, and then a bunch of whatever you want.
I wouldn't put beans in, but
Well, that's like, at Chipotle, it's like their
yeah.
staple, right? So that's a burrito. But then what is the difference between a rolled up, like a soft shell taco and a burrito? Like, what's the actual definition?
I literally think it's just the folds.
That's it?
I think that's the only difference. It's the same tortilla.
Right.
It's the same ingredients.
Right. Well, I guess burritos traditionally do have rice. Is that the difference? And tacos don't? Because you can have beans on tacos and you can have meat on tacos.
I've had tacos with
so
rice in them before.
here,
That's a burrito, my friend.
taco
Oh my god!
it's a Mexican dish consisting of a fried tortilla,
It's got to be fried.
typically folded, filled with various mixtures such as seasoned meat, beans, lettuce, and tomatoes.
So there you go. If you remove the seasoning, according to that definition, it's no longer a taco. Has to be seasoned.
So,
Also, or if you don't fry the tortilla.
Oh, now you just get into
loopholes.
Well, I like loopholes. I want to say, what if you had the seasoning in your mouth and then you eat the unseasoned taco?
Oh, we should
It
do the
just
taco
disappears
seasoning
as you
challenge,
eat,
like the
yeah.
cinnamon.
so
Right.
okay,
What
now
if you season the rice instead of meat?
a burrito is a Mexican dish consisting of a tortilla rolled around a filling, typically of beans or ground or shredded beef.
Boy, there are almost the same thing. I would say
Except
that
one's a fried tortilla, and this
Yeah,
one's
well,
just
so the
a
fried
tortilla.
tortilla would ends up giving it its robust shape.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one's folded. So literally, tortilla origami is the difference between a burrito and a taco. Yeah, so Swanky says soft shell tacos are just burritos. I agree. Like a soft shell taco is ostensibly an open faced burrito.
Yes.
Then I don't like tacos. I love soft shell. I hate hard shell.
I prefer soft shell because they're not nearly as a hassle to eat.
I do like regular old tacos.
Regular taco shells are. So you know what the greatest invention of all time was?
Those taco stands.
No, I mean they're fine.
No, the things that hold your tacos
Yeah, no.
up.
I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The thing that keeps them oriented. No, whoever decided to put take a soft shell, put cheese on it, and wrap it around the outside of a hard shell taco.
Oh, the Crunchwrap Supreme.
So like doing that, you get the crunchiness of the hard shell taco without
I like
the mess.
that. Yeah.
So like, and I feel that is that's the most ideal form of taco.
I hate corn tortillas.
So
You what, mate?
Corn tortillas are gross.
I know what you
You
said.
can have a flour tortilla.
Flour tortillas are the
or hard
best.
shell flour tortilla.
Do you not like
So
my
do you know
blue
what the
corn
word
chips?
burrito means?
It means little donkey.
Yeah. I didn't know that. TIL.
What? Burrito means little donkey?
Yeah,
Does that mean
burrow.
little donkey?
And then ito, the suffix, means little.
Why do they name a food after eating little donkey? Was it originally made with little donkey meat?
What? No, I think it might be one of those things where it's like it was like so dense and full of stuff. It's like, oh, it's like hauling around a donkey or something. It's like a little. I don't know. You're talking about.
Okay.
You're talking about the
Origin of.
what's that called? The etymology of a
Yes.
foreign word. So it's like I can track the etymology of a lot of English words, but it's like figuring out how the local nomenclature of Spanish wove around so they were calling this particular dish a burrito. Oh my goodness.
So, okay, I don't know how true this is, but on Vox.com, the name burrito may have come about from its role as a sidekick to the donkey. Another theory holds the burrito came from Chihuahua during the Mexican Revolution in the 1910s. As one story has it, a vendor named Juan Mendez wrapped his food in a flour tortilla, transporting his new creation on a small donkey. I don't think there's an actual known...
So you've got your burro, and then you got your little food pouch, and that's your burrito.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
The roots of the burrito go back thousands of years,
Yep.
as early as 10,000 BC.
Yeah, unleavened corn wrap thing that's everywhere. Everywhere that's had corn has had that.
We should just do an entire episode on burritos.
We just did.
We
Enough
did
said.
not. We should become a food podcast. We just talk about different foods and their origins and their names and all that stuff.
Rise yeast of the podcast. So anyway, that was the whole, the particular list wasn't important to me. It was just the idea of these lists and how you could weasel around them and everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So talking about getting to the lawyerly definition of what things are, I can't remember the specific. I had written it down 20 years ago probably. I had this idea of, and I can't remember what it is specifically, but it's something about how. What the true opposite of something is, right? So however you describe glasses, what are anti-glasses, right? So it's not just something that makes you see worse, right? It's what's the opposite of a lens or whatever? What's the opposite of a frame? It's how could you get to the truest opposite of something, right? So then it just started messing with my brain. It's what's the opposite of water? So water is hydrogen and oxygen, right? So you could say instead of H2O, it's HO2 could be considered the opposite of water, whatever that is. Hydrogen. Whatever that is.
Oxygen 2, hydrogen.
Or it's elementally, what is the fundamental opposite of hydrogen? Would it be whatever the heaviest element is? And then what's the opposite of oxygen? Whatever, it's if you think about it like that, or you could think it's if you describe water as viscous fluid with a pH of 7 or something. So what's a non-viscous solid with a pH of 2? It's how do you figure out what the true opposite of something is? Which comes down to the definition of what the thing is. So in the same lawyerly definition way.
So I going through the whole notion and everything, right? I think of two things. I think of literally the inverse, and the reason I say that is a photograph and then a negative. I think those would be the inverse of each other. But it's almost like how maybe you're thinking of opposite. But then I think of the easiest one to clearly define that a lot of people wouldn't disagree with is light and dark. Dark is opposite of light. Light is opposite of dark. So you've got light, and then dark is the absence of light. So then it's just as simple as when you say glasses. I first thought something you'd put on that make you see bad, but that I would just say just the absence of glasses is the opposite.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of opposite stuff would just be the absence of it. So the opposite of water would just be no water.
Well, so I think the thing that was most interesting to me is because you have to describe what you could just say because otherwise you're saying the opposite of everything is nothing.
Right.
But I'm not looking for what the nothing is. I'm looking for if I wanted to make the exact the antimatter essentially to the matter. Right. So because
if they're combined together, then they would be nothing.
What? Well, yeah. So it's if this functionally does this, what does the exact functional opposite essentially, right? So it is one way to look at it. So if glasses help you see better, you say glasses. The anti-glasses make you see worse.
Would you see Pokemon versions as opposites?
No.
So X and Y aren't opposite of each other.
No, because they're 90% the same.
Okay. How does Pokemon to see their
So
games?
the opposite of Pokemon would be something where you started with 500 Pokemon and had to try to get rid
lose
of them.
them all?
Right?
Gotta lose them all.
But it depends on how thoroughly you define the game. If the game is about capturing, collecting Pokemon, and that's as far as you go,
Right.
or whatever. So it's like otherwise, like if there's like there's trainer battles, so it's like you have to avoid fighting people whilst getting rid of stuff or whatever. Or it's like if you think that one of the core components is that there are animals in it, and have to have no animals in it.
Right.
So it's like the further you drill down, the weirder it gets, and that's the part that's most interesting to me. That's like when I was talking about water or whatever, or like let's just go back to glasses, right? So instead of just something you put on your face to see better, it's like, so what's the opposite of your face? If you have something, you have to put on something else to make you see worse.
So could there just be things that don't have opposites? Would that just be the easier way to think about it? Because here's some fun words just to rattle your brains. Because when you talk about opposites, I said light and dark. I couldn't think of any other ones. Because, like Sun and Moon, like Pokemon Sun and Moon, or technically, I feel like those games are meant to be, opposites.
Well, I think the concept you're looking at are like two sides of something.
Well, so here's my definition, 40 common opposites in English. Big and little. Mm-hmm. So you've got, if something is big, the opposite of is little.
All right, so
I would say glasses,
keep that train of thought, right?
I would say glasses just don't have opposites. I would say some things just don't have an opposite.
That's true, but this is a mental exercise in what would it be. I'm not asking for you to make anti-glasses.
Yeah.
I'm trying to challenge people to think of go beyond the idea of just not having it.
Right.
What would be functionally the complete opposite, right? So it's like, let's just look at the sun. Let's disregard the moon. They're both celestial bodies. They both are part of our solar system. There's a lot of Venn diagram overlap between what they are. We want to take these Venn diagrams and make them not intersect at all. The more attributes you give to something, the more not of that you need to have, right? So if we just say the sun is composed of hydrogen and exists in space, right? Well, an anti-sun would have to exist not in space and be made of not hydrogen, right? So, the black hole still exists in space. So it'd have to live in another universe and be made of not hydrogen, but if you add more attributes to that, if it generates photons, what's something that absorbs photons, right? A black hole would be a good example of something that absorbs photons.
Right.
The only thing necessarily that absorbs all photons that it encounters. But then black holes and stars are both massive. They both have tons of mass, so that's something that still overlaps, so it couldn't be a black hole. So now we got to find something else that is massless, does not exist in our universe, absorbs all light, and is made of anti-hydrogen or not hydrogen, whatever you think the opposite of hydrogen is, right? So if you listed every parameter of something, right, to get the most conclusive anti thing, right? So think of glasses, you could just describe it as something that makes you see better, but it's it has bows. What's the opposite of a bow, right? Who knows what that could be? What is an opposite of a lens, right? A lens is a very specific thing. What would a lens be? And then how do you use this thing, right? You wear it on your face. What's the opposite of wearing something on your face? Not wearing something on your butt? I don't know. So it's just really...
I didn't bring it up if Adam's listening.
So
glasses are a funny one because it's if you do talk about opposites, right? This just cracks me up. Google defines the opposite of water as either land or dry. So just
wetness so if you think of something being wet or so sand be the opposite of water, but you could argue that
dry is funny because then it's the non-existence of water. So it gets back into the if something exists, it's just the opposite of it.
Well, it depends on how you define wetness. Sort of tangent thing. Soap is effective because it makes water wetter.
Slipperier.
Technically, it depends on how you define wetter, right? It lets the water molecules surface tension break and get into the areas more to remove oils or dirt or whatever, right? So because the wetness of water is essentially the viscosity of it, right? It's the ability to move around unimpeded. So you're increasing the viscosity essentially of water by making it wetter.
And then then it says if you look up the opposite of glasses, it says there's two ways to look at it. Either in the context of corrective vision, you've got contact lenses then.
That's not the opposite of glasses at all.
And you're talking about vision. I guess a different way to, if you're either going to wear glasses or you need to see better, but you don't want to use glasses. So what's the opposite of it? And then it talks about it's hard because of the whole lens thing, like you're talking about the more objectives, but it just basically says glass in and of itself is translucent. So then the opposite of translucent is not translucent. So it would just be, like I'd say the opposite of glass is a simple answer is just
a blindfold.
Light blindfold would be the opposite of
That's
glasses.
what Chad said.
Well, there you go, woo, Chad!
Okay, your scope isn't broad enough is the thing.
I think your scope is too exact. So
remember, this is my thing. I get to set the rules. The idea is to use as much definition as possible on the thing, and then for each definition to find that anti-thing, and then that collection of things is anti-glasses.
I think that changes the summary of opposite then. I
wasn't saying it was opposite at all. I'm just saying, like, to start the idea, this isn't a thing that has any. It's for debate, right?
Right.
We're not going to reach a consensus thing because we're going to come up with different definitions, right? The whole point of this thing is, like, I think it'd be cool to I not think it could be. I think it is cool to examine things in this way to see what you could possibly come up with.
I guess it just doesn't have further clarification because you could break everything down to just a molecule and then just find the exact opposite of the molecule then. It's like you're talking about water being, H2O or whatever, and so you would just have to decide what the format was, and you could just apply that to everything. So it just needs further clarification on if it's because there's either existing and not existing, or there's what's it made of, and then the opposite of what it's made of.
It's how you choose to define it, and I think that the funnest results come from the most layers of definition you can put onto it, right? So it's again, with like the glasses thing or whatever, it's like if you just say it's a thing that corrects vision, something that makes your vision worse is as far as you need to go. But if you start describing the physical characteristics or the way that it's worn or this or that, it's just fun to think about how would that work, right? It's not about getting to that end result, or it's not about the end result. It's like getting there. It's like thinking of how this thing would not exist.
I guess a lot of the rules just seemed very constrictive when you were talking about like the opposite of a sun. It'd be the first thing that comes to mind is like the
I was just giving you an example of how I was thinking about it. That's just one way to define it. I'm just giving you examples. I'm not saying these are the rules. The rule is basically try and define the opposite, not most opposite, like the thing that has the no similarity to it, I guess would be the easiest way to do it. Like how dissimilar can you make something, right? And then maybe that says opposite, maybe it's whatever.
Right.
Again, this is a thing that I was working at the gas station in the middle of the night. I was like, that's kind of cool to think about what something that would be functionally so completely different that they share no qualities whatsoever. And then you just choose what the qualities are. The more qualities you have, the harder it gets because it's like you said, you could just drill it down to like, okay, it's just made out of antimatter and an anti-dimension, and that's just the answer for everything. If you want to be lame and just whatever.
But it boils down to that though. Like if you want to be true to it, it just boils down to just being antimatter matter is what it is all.
And how do you define matter and antimatter then? Because they are both things that exist in our universe, right?
Yes.
Like they both are things. So it's like whatever the definition of that is, you could just break it down further and be like, well, there would have to be some whatever,
Right.
So then it does blah, 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 blah. And maybe it circles back all the way around. Maybe you end up with like 40 different dimensions of something, whatever it is. Apparently, you're not as interested in this as I am. I think it's really cool to think about.
Oh, it's just every time I presented something, it was just immediately shot down as not being the right train of thought for what you were describing. I didn't know how I didn't know how I could contribute.
Yeah.
To your rules and still.
Yeah, well, so I'm not trying to disinclude you in this. I was just saying, like, I think it's more fun to go deeper than how deep you are going. Like, blindfold for glasses, that checks the box, you can move on. But if you go further, it's more interesting. Like I said, like, if you go all the way to the end of antimatter, whatever, like, that's sort of like the other easy way of getting out of everything, but it's like trying to find those other things. It's just something fun to think about, but now I regret bringing it up. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. You can subscribe on YouTube to see the podcast released on Monday mornings every week. Otherwise, pretty soon we're going to be switching to streaming only on Twitch, so follow us on twitch.gg. I know that's Discord. Twitch.com/Rise of the Podcast. Comment down below how you feel about upcoming Star Wars things. I think it'll be interesting to continue the conversation on that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and of course,
may the Force be with you.